From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Sunday, March 27th, 2016. Silver is trading at $15.20 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,217 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $421. Antiwar.com reports last year's preliminary Afghan peace talks quickly fell apart after the Afghan government revealed that Taliban leader Mullah Omar was dead for years, and a divided Taliban leadership had no choice but to abandon the talks. The Afghan assumption seems to have been that this would weaken the Taliban's negotiating position, but as the Taliban is gaining growing amounts of territory, beating the Afghan military across Helmand province, there is less and less leverage for getting the Taliban back on the table. Indeed, the whole reason the first round of talks happened was because Pakistan pressed the Taliban leadership, which was largely operating out of Quetta. As the Taliban gets more territory of its own in Afghanistan, Pakistan has less and less say. Getting the Taliban back to the negotiating table now is likely to involve more concessions towards them, and even then will rest on how well Mullah Mansour, Omar's successor, is able to handle the ongoing infighting with rival commanders. Bitcoin Not Bombs is a launching pad for nonprofits and social entrepreneurs into the financial freedom of the Bitcoin economy. Bitcoin Not Bombs offers premium publicity campaigns designed to facilitate an organization's adoption of Bitcoin as a payment system. Bitcoin Not Bombs is fully committed to being the hub of the nonprofit sector of the Bitcoin economy, maximizing the potential cross-promotion of all our clients and commercial partners. To learn more, visit bitcoinnotbombs.com. UPI reports the United States has no place to accuse countries of engaging in cyber attacks, according to the Iranian foreign minister on Saturday in a statement denying it engaged in cyber warfare against U.S. interest. The U.S. government charged 7 Iranians on March 24th with a series of cyber assaults on American banks and a dam in New York State between 2011 and 2013, drawing the response from the Iranian foreign minister. Jabari Ansari, the foreign minister of Iran, said it in the statement, the U.S. government, which puts millions of innocent people at risk of an environmental disaster through cyber attacks against Iran's peaceful nuclear facilities, is not in a position to level accusations against citizens of other countries, including those of Iran, without substantial evidence. Ansari said the attack in 2010 by the United States on Iran's nuclear energy facilities, which included installing the Stuxnet computer malware and damaged its nuclear program, cancels out the country's right to call others on cyber warfare. Ansari said the Islamic Republic of Iran has never put risky measures in cyberspace on its agenda and never supports such steps. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports an attorney for the leader of the group that was involved in a 41-day protest at a federal wildlife refuge in Oregon questioned the $6 million price tag cited by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service for dealing with the occupation. U.S. Fish and Wildlife Director Dan Ash said at a news conference in Oregon on Wednesday those costs included $1.7 million for restoration of the refuge near Burns and increased law enforcement patrols elsewhere after the 6-week occupation, which ended February 11th. Michael Arnold, an attorney for protest leader Eamon Bundy, who faces conspiracy and weapons charges in connection with the occupation, said the government should not use the protest as a blank check for unwarranted expenses. Arnold said this protest should not be a government expenditure lottery ticket. I've only heard of one wall damaged in the whole set of buildings. U.S. Fish and Wildlife spokesman Gavin Shire said on Saturday in response to Arnold's contentions, the agency's figures include a range of damages, from roads and trenches created by the occupiers to the harm inflicted on sacred American Indian artifacts. The FBI, which headed a law enforcement operation to encircle and arrest several of the protesters, has not released its expenditures from the occupation. More than 25 participants in the protest have been charged in federal court. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.